Hi, my name's Shipp, and here are some nice tips on how to catch carp shallow. Right, my first tip for catching carp shallow is just have a couple of different rigs made up. I've actually got 2 rigs made up for today. It's nice and hot, the fish are going about on the surface. My first rig is a little 4B10 shallow float. I've actually got quite a long line, and a lot of venues I go to, when you're fishing for the carp shallow, you need to flick your bait past your pole tip because the carp are really wary about coming under your pole. So just have a rig set up with a longer line like I have there. The other rig I got up is what I call sort of a standard rig really, 4B12, shorter line between me float and me elastic, and I can fish that from say sort of 18 inches deep up to 3 foot deep. So bearing in mind, days like today, have a couple of rigs set up, it can make a huge difference for catching the carp shallow. The second little tip about fishing for carp shallow is always carry some spare hook lengths with you. I carry my hook lengths in these great little hook length boxes. Standard hook length for me for carp, say like I'm catching today, 5 or 6 pound, is 0.15 power line, which is about 6 pounds. So I'm fishing sort of 8 pound main line, 6 pound hook lengths. I carry different hook sizes. Normally when I'm fishing with 8mm pellets, I fish a 16 or a 14. They're all in there. I can just get one off, put it on my rig, and I'm ready to go. It's as simple as that. Shot placement is really important when you're fishing shallow, and I get asked a lot on the bank when I'm fishing with hard pellets especially, what do I do with my shot? You know, I might have a 4B12 float on, it might take 5 number 9 stots. Well, for me personally, when I fish with a pellet, I want the pellet to go down as naturally as possible. So I normally have the shot, and this is only a 4B10, and because that float's got to take an 8mm pellet, I've only actually got 1 number 9 stot on, which I just have just below the float. And all my shallow rigs, when I'm fishing with a hard pellet, I just have the shot just below the float like that. So when I actually put the float in, it cocks immediately, but then the pellet is falling naturally. And that's the most important thing when you're fishing for carp shallow, is that bait falls naturally, because you've got more chance of the carp taking it than if you had a big bulk of shot there. I think they know, they don't take it. So obviously that natural fall definitely puts more fish in your net. Hook bait sizes are mega important when you're fishing for carp shallow. Today, if I fish a 6mm, it's not the same. If I fish an 8mm, I can sort of flick it out, it makes a proper clunk on the water surface, and if there's any carp in the area, they hear it. You can actually see some of them, they sort of come to the noise. If it was a 6mm, while I'm getting a few roach problems, and the 8mm is making a huge difference. You know, some days I feed 6mm and fish with an 8mm on the hook. Today it's better just to ping out sort of 3 or 4 8mm. You get one in your peg looking around, and you can sort of flick your rig in. The 8mm makes the proper plop, and they nail it straight away. So definitely get out and try different hook bait sizes. Float choice is really important when you're fishing shallow, whether you're fishing for carp, whether you're fishing for silverfish, or even F1s. This is one of my commercial shallow floats. It's designed to fish shallow. It's stumpy, it's short, it's got a fiberglass stem, so it helps it cock, because you don't want something lying on the top of the water. It's got a nice thick hollow bristle, so it takes the weight of a pellet. Now, if you put an 8mm on, that's probably the equivalent of maybe 3 number 8s. So you've got to take that into consideration. So choosing the right float makes a big difference. My final tip, and I do get asked a lot, is when I slap and when I don't slap. And the most important things for me, this is talking about carp fishing, not F1 fishing. A day like today, it's flat calm, there's no wind. These are the sort of days you've got to go careful about making too much noise. A lot of these carp are wary. You know, today if you make too much noise, they're gone. And it's so obvious today, if I feed too many pellets, they just don't come into your peg. It's all about making a little bit of noise. So one comes in your peg, it's looking for a bit of bait, there's not too much bait, So just go careful on some of the venues you go to, especially if they're heavily fished, about slapping too much. It's a deadly method on the right day, but some days it's better just to lift and drop your rig to get that pellet to make the noise, and I'm sure you'll catch more fish.